God bless you guys. This is Sean here from Faith Brings Change. I just want to come on here and talk to you guys. You know, basically what I'm saying to you guys in all this is it's the stuff people are watching that is controlling how they're living. These movies that I keep talking about, guys, this is all to cause people to stop drinking from this this TV. You know, I've talked about all this stuff, and I mentioned in my testimonies how the TV's like a ring, you know, and they were trying to destroy this evil. They took a shotgun and blew a shotgun right through the middle of that thing, and it turned into a ring, and they were casting this girl, this part in that movie. My brother and I were watching it. It was called Malignant, and it looked exactly, they're making her just like Samara. They're doing that whole false enlightenment stuff. You come to find out, basically, this killer the entire time is basically something that's growing in her, which I knew from the beginning. It was a devil in her. It was sin. And it's growing because of the crap they're watching. That girl, Samaria, it's not the girl that's the problem. It's not people that are, you know, they say are evil, the problem. Yeshua talked about the forces that we're fighting are not human beings, they're demons. And you have to get rid of them. You have to cut that part of the person, or you're going to keep having the same problem. The little girl in the ring, she was neglected by her mother, put in front of the television. That's what it represents, and it's making, they're drinking from that well of Samaria. Her name is Samara. They're drinking from, Samaria is just a metaphor for the what are you drinking from for your life? Yeshua taught the parable of Samaria and taught about the world's pleasures represent that well. Now you have it in the form of a World Wide Web right now. And everybody's drinking from this stuff. Everybody's drinking from the river. And I know people like, what do you got there? Those are graven images, Sean. And they point always to this. And when they're getting their sin pointed out. The Bible says that Solomon had a temple. And he carved lions and birds and different things out of it. And they say this is a graven image. But if that was true, then Solomon sinned. But God's glory entered the temple when he had those things carved into the temple. So the context of a graven image was something you actually bow down to worship. Otherwise, if it was just a carving of an animal or something of itself, then God would have condemned Solomon. He never would have, you know, his glory never would have entered that temple. But so this is another thing, fleshly judgments, you know, judging and taking things out of context. And, you know, they have art and everything in heaven. And so the context was you don't be bowing down to something, you know. Don't be bowing down to it. But, you know, these things that people were watching these movies, it's messing them up in the mind, guys. Your mind's not normally going to think right. If you're putting evil into you, you're going to be getting out evil. It's the same thing you put food into you. You know, your body's going to run like the food you're putting into it. If you're putting in evil and watching in evil things, you're feeding your flesh, you're feeding that sinful part of you, nature, that's going to grow in you. And it's like that movie where that thing comes out of the back of her head and it's a demon and it's walking and she's put to sleep the entire time. This thing's in control. And it's just gory how it slices people. But those demons do that in hell, and people don't know these things are real, so they treat it like it's such a fairy tale, but Satan is right in front of them, and they still don't believe in him. This is what's interesting about it. How can he have an entire world and a nation deceived so much like that? But they're drinking from that well that he's told them, he's put it right in front of their faces, like in the ring. He said, this stuff is death you're drinking from. But they're still doing it. And so that girl eventually died. She got cast in that well, and a period of 7 times passed over her. And then she died. And the well was a picture of hell also. People were going to go to hell through that TV they're watching. Yeshua said somebody, because they're putting that bad stuff. And he said, Yeshua said to me personally, he said they need to stop watching those bad things. Stop thinking those evil thoughts. Stop doing those bad things. And so he was very adamant against these things. The only reason why he's sending me back, he told me to watch this stuff, to pull people out of this darkness. Because I'm sitting there and I'm analyzing, I'm writing stuff down about it. And it all fits together. It's this World Wide Web interconnecting thing. Thou cast a person in a part. All you got to do is pull up their name from the movie they're in. It shows all the list of the characters that they're playing, demonic parts, and all fit together to create this whole World Wide Web, which is for knowledge, you know. Those cobwebs, those spider webs they do in movies, that's for the devil's evil knowledge that he's putting in them. He's letting them know what evil looks like. That's how people got to sin. They wanted to find out what evil looks like, so they ate from that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. They found out what evil was, and it brought out evil in them. And it's the same thing with these demons in these movies. They get more aggressive as you get knowledge of them. They get more and more evil. And, you know, little kids, they don't have knowledge of sin. This is why they don't look quite like the human beings. They're more happy, or they're not as jaded and dark. And it's because what we're teaching them. And a big part of how people are learning what evil is through the television. You know, pornography and sex and drugs and evil and hatred. They're learning it by what they're seeing. Previously, in past generations, you could learn it by person to person. But now, Satan wanted to spread evil into a bigger basis, like a huge wholesale basis. So he created the TV, an invention they have in heaven, and he used it for evil. So he could spread it all across the world, the evil, like a ugly disease, you know, like a harlot that spreads a disease, you know, to person to person. That's what it is. And God in the Bible, he compared the world to harlot, a great harlot that he's going to judge. Because she's corrupted the earth with her wickedness, is what it says. By her sorceries, all the nations were deceived. And people were getting a high off this TV like it's some kind of drug or something. I mean, it's by the sorcery, she's deceived everybody. She says, I've said as a widow, I'm a queen, I'll see no sorrow. But God said in one day, all her plagues are going to come, destruction is going to come. And Satan is even prophesying what he's going to do to her. It says in the Bible, the beast and his 17 kings, they're going to hate the whore. They're going to make her desolate. They're going to eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For strong is the Lord God that judges her. And so they're even doing this in these movies. They're eating the flesh and they're goring them and doing all the stuff that Satan does to the people in hell. God said, you want that as your God? You want to get entertained from that? Then you'll be the victim of that. And so the people that are watching these things, they're going to become, people are falling into hell. They're getting tortured the same ways they saw people tortured in the movies. This is what happens to people in hell. This guy's brother in a gang violence, he got his head taken off in a car accident. And the demons were stabbing him. It was a Freddy Krueger demon, and it was a Dark Knight demon, and there were other ones. They were stabbing him back and forth. This guy didn't have a dream or anything. He really went to hell, and his brother was in hell. He got to come back. His brother went to hell. He got his head cut off. He's in hell now. And he's getting tortured by that demon that they made into the Freddy image. They've called him Freddy. He's not even called Freddy. But he's that same demon. And they're bringing demons to the earth through the TV. See, because they come in through your imagination. The same way as they show through the TV just helps you engage your imagination. They're able to get in your mind through telepathy. Because they say these aliens or whatever you want to call it. Well, spirits, they communicate thought to thought. That's how they send pictures and signals. And so people are channeling demons literally through the TV. They're conceptualizing the demons in their mind when they think, I'm going to write this script. And the demons are feeding them what they want to teach the people. And then the people are writing it down. They're like host bodies for them. Like in the movie, she was just a vessel for the devil. That's what these writers are. They're vessels for Satan. They write down what he wants them to tell, they think. And he says, now create this. He puts it in their mind, and they put it for a picture, and they show it to you. And this is how he gets his evil demons into your home, into your house, into your life. It's through the television. God said at the very end days, they're going to mark people with the mark of the beast, and it's a chip. It's a microchip. It's a machine. It's through technology. And they're going to put them in their mind or in their hand. And that mind and that forehead, you know, that's digital stuff. That's World Wide Web of information. Evil things in your mind to just take you over totally. And that chip is going to be able to do that. It's like the TV taking them over totally. Now they're programmed to think whatever that thing tells them. And that's pretty much how Satan already has people right now. You know, Simon says, think this, and they think that. You know, it's pretty much whatever it is. And so Satan, you know, after a while, God said that she would look for her lovers, but she's not going to be able to overtake them. And the world, it's almost like a harlot when they say when a person's with that person over and over and they just get tired of it, that harlot is used up. And so the world and all this stuff is so used up, there's nothing more really for it. And so, you know, that's why you see all this recycled stuff. You know, it's like a used up harlot, basically. So people need to get out of the harlotry of these idols, guys. Because these are taking people to hell so fast, guys. I looked at the death count, guys. Like it was showing the estimated counts of people that die, and the numbers just keep going up and everything. And it'll make you think, guys. So, I love you. I'm going to let you go. I just want you to get out of these things, guys. Those of you who are in them, throw out all your movies. Throw them out. You can listen to Bible movies, but throw out this stuff, guys. It's from hell, guys. Love you guys. I'm going to let you go. Till next time, shalom.